Alright guys, I started recording and then my camera ran out of battery. Go figure. So anyways, what I was explaining in the other video, the first one that I started, was that I removed the fuel injectors from the Lincoln MKZ. I put them on the tester, the CT400. I already purged the fuel line, and I started doing my initial test, and then the battery of the camera went out, so now I got to start over so you guys can see what we have done. So this one, which is the number 3, I put them in order 1, 2, 3, 4. I had labeled them. This one seems to be leaking. The spray pattern is just all over the place, so we definitely have issues with this injector. So I put it at idling test. We're gonna just put it there for 3 minutes so we can at least get some kind of measurable, and then we can see what's going on here. Maybe that's why my fuel pressure was kind of dropping and doing all type of crazy stuff, because maybe I had a leaky injector. I didn't suspect that. I suspected restricted because of the fuel trims and stuff, but maybe it's kind of intermittently sticking open or something, or God knows what. So let's go ahead and hit play on this for 3 minutes, and it's pressurized. Let's give it a little bit, see how much pressure we can give it on this thing. I think that's it, 80 psi. So as you can see there, I'll make sure you guys can see this. This spray pattern is definitely stuck. Oh wait, do I even have this? No, I think I made a boo-boo. Okay, let's try this one more again. I forgot to close the valve, sorry. So we're gonna let this go for 3 minutes. Obviously, look at that one, look at this one. I don't know if that was always like that, I'm not sure, but I wasn't suspecting a leaky injector right off the bat, but could be. Look at that. That is definitely not right. And I hope I have enough test fluid, because I didn't have a whole lot. What I put was alcohol here. One complaint I do have is that Autool's very vague on when it comes to what solution to use. The whole medical or industrial alcohol. Medical alcohol, in my opinion, is rubbing alcohol. But they said, oh, ethanol higher than 75%. Alright, I'm just going to put a stop to this because this is going to overflow. Yeah, that's going to overflow. So I didn't even get the 3 minutes. This was going to overflow. Everything else looks kind of normal, but this one, this number 3 injector, is definitely leaking. Let's go ahead and drain. Let's change the setting on this. I mean, it seems to be working, but let's change the setting on this and see what happens. Yeah, this is just all over the place. Yeah, I did not expect to see that in all reality. And again, I haven't cleaned, I haven't done anything. I'm just getting a base measurement. But this spray pattern looks more fuller than this one. This one is wide open, obviously, and this one is pretty similar to number 1. And if we can remember, the 2 and 3 seem to be the biggest culprits. Wow, this is crazy. This is gonna overflow. All right, let's do this. Because this is gonna overfill. Let's do a high speed test. Put 2 minutes here. See what happens. There's a high speed test. Obviously that one is wide open. This one definitely looks restricted just by looking at it. I don't know if you guys can. This spray pattern is not right. I think that one ain't right as well. So we're gonna let this go. At least I'm getting measurables in all the other ones, so. Alright, let's just stop it. Alright. So this one is at see 64, almost 65 milliliters pretty much. This one is at 60. This one is all the way above 120, and this one is at 62 milliliters. So yeah, they're all over the place. There's no consistency, especially in the number 3. So that does it for me. This is confirmed injector problem all day long. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go through the process, try to flush them out, clean them, do a reverse flushing. I'm gonna do the whole 9 yards and see what we can get. Let's try to do that that leak, which is number 7. Nope, went to number 8. 7. Okay, and we're going to, there it is, pressurized. Well, it's not stuck open. It's definitely leaking, but it's not stuck open. See? So we got leaky number 3, and the rest of them are probably restricted. Yep. Alright, now this is the first time I use this tool, so I'm kind of, you know, playing around with it. It's kind of fun, I must say. Let's see, this one, number 8, is a idling spray value test. Huh. Let's see what that's about. See, now it doesn't seem to be stuck open. It's definitely restricted. Definitely restricted, but it's not stuck open like it was before. I don't know what the difference is between the idling spray value test and the idling test. Well, this is working time here, injection time. So again, I'm not 100% used to this tool, so I don't know all the details about it. I don't know all the details about it, but seems to be working. Yeah, that's definitely restricted there. Yeah, I don't know why earlier was stuck open. I'm not sure if it's maybe intermittently getting stuck open and leaking. But definitely, it is restricted. So, confirmed, injectors are the issue. I've said that 2 or 3 times already. So, I hope that I've played around with this on the camera enough to satisfy you guys. The rest, I may do, you know, show it here or there. I want to do the ultrasonic cleaning, the back flushing. I want to do all that stuff to get these to where they need to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one last test and kind of get some measurables jotted down and then compare it to the final result. So right here, these two are pretty even so far. This one's way down, and this one is about the same, I would say. So that's all I'm gonna do for right now. Just stay tuned, and we'll catch the rest here shortly. Alright guys, so I'm gonna start doing the reverse flushing, and I figured I'd record this part because the instructions are very vague on how to do it, and these injectors are kind of funny because they're so thin here. There is no adapter here, so I kind of, you know, thought outside the box. I don't know if this is correct or not, but I already tried it and it worked. So I use these spacers that come with a kit right here, and these O-rings come with a kit as well. So you got a lot of cool stuff here. It's just when you do the reverse side of it, it's kind of funky. So what I did is I did one of these numbers here. I put a small O-ring here. On all of them I'm going to do the same thing actually. These came out of my kit. These didn't come with the kit, to make a seal right here. And then these spacers, I put the adapters that were up top, I put them on the bottom here with this plate that it comes with. And then I'm just gonna put these adapters here with the O-rings to make a seal there. Okay, so we got that. We got the biggest adapters here. They go on right here. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and do like you would normally do it, and then just put all the injectors inside of that. I kind of feed them here one at a time. Make sure the O-ring goes in there to make a good seal, just like so. Beautiful. Alright, so now that these are turned back, you can see you got 1, 2, 3, 4. The number 4 rubbed off on this one, but that's okay. And then we're gonna tighten this up here to make a good seal. Not too tight, we're just gonna hand tighten it to make a good nice seal there. Alright, so I believe that's set up. I went to the number 11, which is reverse flushing. Really don't know what the difference is as far as operation and internal software wise, but whatever. And then we're going to do that for about 2. Actually, I guess it doesn't give you an option. And there we have it. Oh crap. Well, that didn't work. It leaked everywhere. We had an O-ring failure. Alright. Let's try that again. We had a failure. Alright. I don't know what happened, man. It worked wonderful. Okay, maybe I didn't tighten it down enough or something. I'm not sure. Let's crank down on it a little bit more. The seals are there. It filled right through here and here. So let's do that again, but this time let's be smart and put some eye protection on. Alright, let's try that again. Oh, no. I'm not sure what's happening. Man, it worked wonderful when I did it the first time. Maybe it's too much pressure. Or maybe because I'm using more than... Yeah, maybe I'm not... Maybe because I'm using more than one, it's not clamping down enough on the middle one, because those are the ones that seem to be kind of... Alright, let me push play and then lower. No, something's happening here. It's not... Oh, man. Well, so much for that. Maybe if I do one at a time, it'll work. Maybe 1 or 2 at a time, it'll work. But putting off 4 of them, these middle ones want to come off. So maybe I just don't have enough clamping force right here in the middle. Well, let me do this. Let me see if I can hold down on it. No. Alright, let me just do 1 or 2 at a time and see what happens. But anyways, you get the gist of it. It seemed to be working. It's just not holding, clamping down here, and what it is doing is pushing, it's separating everything, because I mean you do get a good amount of pressure here. So let me rethink over here and then try to get this done. Alright, so it's the next day here, and what I did is I got a new one just to get a baseline of what it should be. I went ahead and got one new injector, and then I can compare it to the rest of them. And as you can see, we're way off. We are way off. Oh, let me turn off this light. We are way off. This is a 3-minute test at high speed, and we got 104 milliliters on the new. And I kind of switched these around just to make sure that position had, I didn't think it did, but just in case, I kind of switched them around just to make sure that there was no I guess more flow going to one side than the other. I don't know if that makes any sense, but we got 104 milliliters. We got about 90 on the number 4. This is number 2. We got 88, I believe. Let me see. 88. Number 1 has about almost 92, and number 3 has about the same, almost 92. So with that said, we definitely do not have the correct flow on none of them. This is new, all these are old. So number 2 is the worst. Now number 3, where's number 3? Number 3 did improve a lot. I mean, we no longer have that sticking, leaky or restricted, so it did help out tremendously. However, I don't know if I feel comfortable putting these old injectors in there, because I just don't want to have the same issue again. If we're supposed to be here, but we're here, we're probably still going to have a check engine light coming on for system lean, I would assume. I don't know how bad it is. I would have to, what I would like to do is just do the original test that I did the first time, the idling for a minute or 3 or whatever it was that I did, and then see if it improved. So let me go ahead and see if I can get that set up, and then I'll know for sure. Alrighty then. So I redid the test, 2 minutes high at about 80 psi, and this is the results that I got. Now I let this run a little bit more than the first one that I did, because if you recall, I had to stop it because the number 3 was really high up there, because it was leaking. So that has been fixed. Again, I rearranged these, so the number 3 is this one now. I got a mark, and number 3 is at about 70. Number 1 is about almost 68. This one, which is, I don't know which one this is, number 4. Number 4 is 66, and this is the new one. The new one is at 76, and number 2 is at 64, which I believe is the lowest of the 4. So when I compare it to this is what bothers me. New versus all the old one. I honestly don't feel comfortable putting these injectors back in the car. I think I'd rather just put new ones and be done with it. At the very least, this has been a fun experience, experimenting and playing around with this machine, but I really don't feel like tearing this car apart if it doesn't fix the problem. So I think I'm gonna go call and tell them we have to replace these injectors, because I don't. This still bothers me. It's a pretty. It's not a small difference. It's a pretty. Especially the number two. The number two seems to be the lowest. Now originally I got, and again I had to stop it, so I kind of let this go through the whole motion. But number one, the first one I jotted down was 64. Number two was 60. Number three was above 120, and number four was at 62. So I'm assuming that if I would have stopped this around the same time that I did the first test, it probably would be very similar, for the exception of the number three, which is over here now. But the number three was way up there, so that has definitely been fixed. If we go to a leak test, which is number 7, I believe, leak checking, yes, we'll probably see that that we have no leak, especially on the number 3. Not even a drop yet. Before it was kind of dripping. It was dripping a little bit. So that actually got pretty good. So again, how good is these ultrasonic cleaning and all that? I'm guessing it varies. Results will vary. It really depends on what type of injector and how bad it's clogged or whatever. Once I come to think about, you know, the trouble that you go through all this, is it worth doing all this? And then find out, oh, we still got to replace them. The jury is still out on that one. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be situations where this is going to save your behind, but how often? I don't know. How often do you run into these jobs? I don't know. So for the cost of the equipment and the hassle you go through, I don't know. I haven't determined. It's you know, once you start putting the cost of the injectors, you know, it's worth a shot, but I don't know. And then you really don't know what it's supposed to be. If I wouldn't have gotten this new one, I would have never known what the rate, what the flow is supposed to be, because I don't think there is no information on that. In the manual, I don't think it tells you, oh, do a flow test do a bench test, and it should give you X amount of milliliters X amount of time at such pulse or something. I don't know. There's too many variables there. I'm sure this would work for some situations, but not all. Not all. And again, once you look into the hassle that you went to tearing all this crap apart, and the time spent doing the cleaning and the back flushing and the mission and the this and the that, I don't know. I'm still, I don't know. What are your thoughts? Please let me know. Leave a comment and let me know what you guys think. So that's gonna be it for this part of the video. Again, there's gonna be multiple parts. We got the initial troubleshooting, and then I want to, after I put the new injectors or whatever I'm gonna do with it, I want to see the results. That's gonna be one video. This is gonna be a separate video, and I'm thinking about doing one for cleaning the valves, which I've already started doing. So maybe 2 to 3 videos on this one car, I'm not sure. But stay tuned. Like, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notified when these videos are completed and out there. So again, thank you for all your support, and we will catch you on the next video. Ciao.